Good evening. I am Kimberly Condra, delivering the news on this day, the 6th of March, 2016. I will start with breaking news straight from Washington. The gender gap on equality in the workforce between men and women is no more. As of today, women will receive the same pay, benefits, and treatment men receive in any position at any company under a new law passed by Congress. When delivering the news, whose credibility at delivering the news is better, a man or a woman's? Some would say a man, some would say a woman's. But this topic is interesting to me because I feel like I might have a possible shot at becoming a newscaster. And I want to learn what it will take to become a newscaster as a female. And this is why. According to an ASNE newsroom census cited in the article Media is Failing Women from Pointer.com in 2014, in 1999 there was 63.1% male and 36.9% female in newscasting. Over the years, it got to 2012 and it was almost the same percentages, 63.7% male and 36.3% female. This made me wonder what it's going to take to become a newscaster as a female. I become interested in knowing what I will have to do to achieve this position, as far as what kind of educational background is needed with experience required, and also what a newscaster is and what they do. And then there's the credibility issue, especially being the gender of female, how it's going to affect my equality with male newscasters. So I'm going to explain this. I'm going to explain it starting what the newscaster is and what responsibilities I'm going to have. And then, second, I will also be telling you what kind of educational background that I must achieve, with what experience that I must acquire, and lastly, the credibility. So most everybody knows news is delivered through many ways, and usually it's delivered by a serious or soft tone of voice, or by just a familiar face. This is the newscaster, or also called an anchorman, anchorwoman, or broadcaster. According to Learn.org in an article, Become a Newscaster, in 2014, a newscaster delivers the news to the public through different outlets of televised newscast. Examples locally would be our KSPR or our KY3. Nationally would be NBC, ABC, CBS, or PBS. And then internationally it would be newscasts such as CNN, Fox, or BBC. As a newscaster who is both a journalist and broadcast specialist, their responsibilities with it. They're responsible for conducting quality research from quality sources to deliver true facts and information. Then they also need to have the ability to interview people live or in pre-recorded settings. And then there's also their responsibility to write news reports. And this is important because they have to interpret stories in the news in a way where the public will be able to understand it. And this brings me to the next point, which is what kind of educational background is required to become a newscaster. According to the U.S. Bureau Labor of Statistics in 2012 from Learn.org, the required degree is a bachelor's degree. And this is in the area of mass communication, journalism, or broadcasting. And then there is the experience part, where you could do internships through local radio or television stations. And this creates credentials for a person like me, a female person like me, who is trying to achieve becoming a newscaster. And this will help with the resume process and getting the foot in the door for an entry-level employment. So now that I've told you about what a newscaster is, the responsibilities, and what educational background is required, I will be telling you how credibility plays an important role. From an article in the Women's Studies in 2014, a public perception has required a specific voice and demeanor for broadcast anchors. Historically, it's been men with that authority, voice, and demeanor, where women are sought to be too soft or sweet to deliver the news. This is framing. This kind of framing has left women to only deliver news on topics such as on lifestyle, culture, entertainment, food, and local broadcasts. So an example of female newscasters are Katie Couric, who was the first sole anchor to take over the nightly news, followed by Diane Sawyer. They both replaced men on the nightly news. And their credibility was very important, for the public seems to frame newscasters, and quickly. Newscasters' credibility shows in two areas: their personality and their credibility. So for Couric, hers showed through her personality, where Sawyer showed through her experience in journalism. In a Women's Study article from 2014, it cites that a background in journalism, and with a lot of background in news culture, increases public trust and connection between an anchor and a viewer. So, as you can tell, I really needed to research what it takes to become a newscaster as a female, and how my gender might affect my achievement. I was surprised that there are more men than women in newscasting, even though I see plenty of women deliver the news each day. So the whole difference of co and sole anchor shed light on that equality issue. So the next time you watch the news, I want you to ask yourself, who delivers the news better, a man or a woman? Who knows, that newscaster might be me one day. So signing off tonight, I'm Kimberly Condra. Have a great evening.